Traveling after you turn 60 should be an experience of freedom, not one filled with frustration. The reality, however, is that the travel industry often quietly exploits senior travelers, expecting you to simply put up with delays, discomfort, and inflated prices as a normal part of any trip. I believe you are entitled to something much better. After consulting with retired flight attendants, expert travel agents, and seasoned hotel managers, I've compiled 6 key travel secrets that airlines prefer to keep under wraps. Once you learn these, your entire approach to travel will transform. These are not merely suggestions, they are proven strategies for seniors that safeguard your well-being, grant you access to VIP benefits, and can reduce your travel expenses by as much as 70%, all while ensuring every journey is smoother and more satisfying. The most significant change, though, isn't about what you pack or the way you book. It's a shift in your way of thinking. Stay with me to the end, because the 6th secret unveils the specific mindset that experienced travelers over 60 employ to convert any setback into an exciting new adventure. Before we begin, please hit the like button and subscribe, as I have many more valuable senior travel insights on the way for you. Let's get started. Secret number 1 is the 70-30 Das Corten medical protection system. The majority of seniors prepare for their travels incorrectly, concentrating on their packing list while completely overlooking the protective framework that veteran travelers rely on. Allow me to show you a superior method. The 70-30 Test 10 system begins precisely 70 days prior to your departure, which is the ideal window for medical preparations that most people miss. You should schedule your pre-travel medical appointment within this time frame. The reason for this is that international vaccination requirements frequently need 4 to 6 weeks to reach full effectiveness, and any adjustments to your prescriptions require a testing period that won't disrupt your travel plans. During this consultation, you should ask for what industry professionals term a border-ready medication letter. This is specific documentation that employs internationally accepted terminology to outline your medical conditions and prescriptions. Using this exact format helps you avoid the maddening security delays that often trouble travelers who aren't properly prepared. However, this is where most travelers make a critical mistake with their medications. The typical pill organizer strategy is not resilient enough for disruptions. What is your plan if flights are canceled or your luggage is misplaced? The professionals implement the 30% redundancy rule. One set of your medications should be kept in your personal carry-on item and never stored in the overhead compartment. Another 30% is packed in a separate piece of luggage, while the remaining 30% is distributed in a different manner for international emergencies. Here's a strategy most travel doctors neglect to mention: the 10-day buffer approach. You should always pack an additional 10 days worth of your medication beyond your scheduled return date. Why? Because data indicates this is the average maximum delay that travelers face during significant disruptions, such as major weather events or airline strikes. If you believe your travel insurance will protect you, you should reconsider. The majority of policies contain an obscure pre-existing condition clause that has the potential to invalidate your coverage. The way to overcome this is to have your doctor document that any condition has been stable for 90+ days before you buy the insurance. This simple wording alters how insurance providers classify your health status. Now, what about a secret that could potentially save you thousands of dollars on your next flight reservation? Continue watching. Secret number 2 is the flight booking triple play. The gap between paying top dollar and securing insider-level deals is determined by 3 particular booking strategies that airlines actively conceal from their customers over 60. First, you need to disregard everything you've been told about Tuesday being the ideal day to purchase flights. That information is no longer current. The new industry sweet spot is what insiders refer to as the displacement window, which is exactly 54 to 57 days before domestic flights and 114 to 117 days before international flights. Within these specific timeframes, airlines modify their pricing algorithms to fill what they forecast to be empty seats. However, here is the strategy that most travelers overlook completely: employing the split ticketing approach. Instead of booking a standard round-trip flight, you should look for 2 separate one-way tickets in each direction, at times even using different airlines. This method alone saved the members of our community an average of $237 per trip in the last year. For the true insider tactic, phone the airline's international booking number rather than their main reservation line. The reason is that international call centers operate with different quote authorities and can frequently access unadvertised senior fares that domestic agents cannot even view in their systems. Now, let's discuss the seating strategy that can completely change your flight experience, which professionals call the comfort corridor. This refers to rows 10 to 14 on narrow-body planes and rows 20 to 30 on wide-body jets. These particular rows represent the perfect balance of noise level, restroom proximity, service priority, and reduced turbulence. They are almost never the seats that airlines suggest to senior travelers. For another concealed benefit, book the shadow row located near the flight attendant jump seats. Flight attendants have confirmed to me that passengers seated in these specific rows tend to receive subtle priority service and more regular check-ins, which is especially beneficial for seniors who may have mobility concerns. But an even more effective strategy is coming up that could entirely revolutionize your time at the airport. Secret number 3 is the VIP Airport Blueprint. Were you aware that there is an entire infrastructure of airport services and shortcuts created specifically for travelers over the age of 60, which almost no one utilizes? Let me show you how to move through airports like a seasoned expert. To start, forget about using standard airport transportation. Instead, use what travel professionals call the Premium Access Drop-Off. These are specific terminal entry points that are designated for first-class passengers, but are in fact open to any traveler age 60 and over. Just tell your taxi or rideshare driver to use the Premium Access entrance, and you will bypass the chaos of the main terminal completely. Here is something that most travelers never learn. Every major international airport provides complimentary senior assistance services, but they are intentionally not well publicized. When you are booking your flight, request Senior Transit Assistance, not wheelchair service. By doing this, you will be matched with a dedicated airport staff member who will escort you through security, customs, and directly to your gate, all without the stigma associated with disability services. If you think TSA PreCheck is effective, the known traveler senior status is superior. When you apply for PreCheck, you should also request known traveler senior status verification. This little-known enhancement marks your boarding pass for faster screening, no matter which security line you are in, and it works even at airports that lack official PreCheck lanes. If you want the ultimate airport luxury, which usually costs $450 but can be obtained for free by seniors, listen up. Many international credit cards provide complimentary access to airport lounges, yet 89% of senior cardholders fail to take advantage of this benefit. Review your current credit cards for any travel enhancement benefits and inquire specifically about your eligibility for lounge access. It's possible you already possess this premium perk and are unaware of it. The next secret I'm sharing could protect you from the most frequent travel health issue that spoils thousands of senior trips annually. Secret number 4 is the anti-fatigue protocol. Travel fatigue affects seniors more severely than any other demographic. However, there is a methodical system that the travel wellness industry prefers you don't know about, as it renders their costly products obsolete. Begin with what flight crews refer to as the 4-2-1 hydration formula. This involves drinking 4 ounces of water every 2 hours, beginning 1 day before your flight. This precise schedule and volume enhance your hydration levels without leading to constant trips to the restroom. Pair this with cutting out alcohol and caffeine 16 hours prior to your flight to interrupt the dehydration cycle that is the primary cause of severe travel fatigue. The seating posture that most travelers adopt is entirely incorrect. Flight attendants instruct new crew members on the 30-30-30 position. You should adjust your seat to form 30-degree angles at your knees, hips, and elbows. This specific posture is designed to optimize blood circulation and can decrease stiffness by as much as 60% during extended flights. Here is a transformative tool that the majority of travelers have not encountered: compression arm sleeves. While compression socks are widely known, research indicates that arm circulation is just as vital for staving off fatigue and swelling. You should look for sleeves that offer 15 to 20 millimeters of mercury pressure ratings, which is the same medical grade level used by professional athletes for recovery. The napping method used by international flight crews is known as 2-cycle rest. This involves taking 2 30-minute sleep sessions instead of 1 extended nap. This technique aligns with your body's natural rhythms to deliver more restorative rest than a single, longer sleep period, which frequently leaves you feeling more disoriented. Now, let me reveal a digital travel hack that could save you thousands if you ever encounter a medical emergency overseas. Secret number 5 is the digital safety system. While the majority of travelers concentrate on their physical security, the most significant risks often lie in the realms of information and access. This thorough digital framework safeguards everything from your medical information to your financial accounts. You should begin by establishing what security professionals call a travel vault, which is a secure, encrypted digital folder that houses all of your crucial documents. However, do not limit it to just basic information. You should also include what experts refer to as escalation documents. These are pre-written letters that specifically ask for consular assistance, insurance intervention, or medical evacuation, using the precise language that prompts an immediate response. Here is a recommendation from cybersecurity experts. Set up a dedicated travel email address to be used solely for booking reservations and trip-related correspondence. This action isolates all of your travel details from your primary email account, which makes it both more convenient to access and more secure against a potential data breach. The mobile phone strategy that most travelers get completely wrong is relying solely on their regular cellular plan when abroad. A better approach is to use the dual authentication pathway. This involves combining an international eSIM, electronic SIM, with an offline authentication application such as Authy or Google Authenticator. This setup guarantees that you can get into your critical accounts even when you don't have a dependable cell signal. Most travelers are not aware that both Android and Apple devices come with built-in medical ID features that international first responders are trained to access, even on a locked phone. Taking the time to properly configure these features with your conditions, medications, and emergency contacts could be a literal lifesaver in a foreign country. However, arguably, the most precious travel secret concerns your finances, specifically, how to steer clear of the fees and pitfalls that are aimed at senior travelers. Secret number 6 is the financial protection framework. The banking and credit card sectors generate billions of dollars from travelers who are unfamiliar with these straightforward financial protection methods. First, you should use what financial advisors call the distributed access method, which involves dividing your travel money among several points of access. The ideal setup is to have 40% on a primary credit card, 30% on a backup card from a different financial institution, 20% in the local currency as cash, and 10% on a specialized travel card like Wise or Revolut. Here is something that most travelers find out when it's too late. Nearly every credit card imposes hidden conversion fees of 2 to 3% on transactions made in a foreign country, even if you opt to pay in your home currency. The fix for this is what industry insiders call native currency processing. You should always select to pay in the local currency when presented with the choice at payment terminals. This single strategy generally saves you 3 to 5% on every transaction you make. The bank notification method that most people employ is dangerously inadequate. Rather than just informing your bank of your travel dates, you should request graduated authorization limits. These are pre-approved spending increase authorizations that activate automatically based on your geographical location. This approach helps to avoid the common issue of having legitimate purchases declined while you are still protected against fraud. If you want to know how savvy travelers sidestep exorbitant ATM fees abroad, they utilize the staged withdrawal strategy. This involves making fewer but larger withdrawals that are timed strategically over the course of your trip, as opposed to making frequent small ones. You should estimate your anticipated cash requirements and make withdrawals in just 2 or 3 transactions to reduce the flat fees that can add up quickly with numerous withdrawals. As I promised earlier, beyond all the practical tips and exclusive senior travel benefits, there is a single shift in mindset that can fundamentally alter how you see the world at any stage of life. The opportunity mindset that changes it all. The most experienced and content travelers all have one characteristic in common. They perceive opportunities where others see obstacles. Instead of tackling travel with a problem-solving attitude, constantly attempting to manage delays, evade inconvenience, or dictate the uncontrollable, they adopt what experts refer to as the opportunity mindset. When a flight is canceled, the typical traveler becomes stressed and disheartened. However, Individuals with an opportunity mindset see it as a chance to explore a new section of the airport, savor an unscheduled meal, or connect with someone they would have otherwise never met. This is not simply about maintaining a positive outlook. It is about actively choosing curiosity over frustration and presence over panic. As one of our remarkable viewers, a 78-year-old solo globetrotter, shared with me, "I don't just take trips anymore, I have adventures. Sometimes the adventure is not what I had planned, but it is always worth the experience." Once you grasp this opportunity mindset, every trip, regardless of what may go wrong, has the potential to become one of the most memorable experiences of your life. Which one of these will you implement on your next journey? Please share your thoughts in the comments. I enjoy learning about how you travel with Savvy. If you found this video to be useful, please don't hesitate to give it a like. It genuinely helps other smart travelers like yourself find these valuable insights. Be sure to hit that subscribe button and activate notifications, because I have a great deal of powerful tips and insider secrets heading your way each week. Don't overlook this video on the new airline carry-on regulations you likely haven't heard about yet. It could save you from unexpected fees and significant frustration on your very next trip.